welcome to House Calls, the Big Brother talk show here at CBS.com. I'm Gretchen Massey, and with me from Big Brother Season 2, Bunky, who's been here all week. The phone number for you to call is 323-CBS-1000 or 323-227-1000 to get on the air, because today is going to be a fantastic show. We have the most recent all-star evicted from the Big Brother house. So let's welcome Nakomis,
Yay, Nakomis.
Creator of the infamous six-finger plan.
Yes.
Did you ever have any idea that you would be so inextricably connected to the word finger?
No, I really didn't, but you never know where your path is going to take you, and mine took me to finger.
It's better than chicken.
Yes, it is. Much better than chicken.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry to hear that you were evicted, because I really was rooting for you and Chicken George. And so, like, today, in honor of you, we have red and yellow, and we also got you flowers, red and yellow, in honor of your hair. So we love the red and yellow hair.
I bet.
And we love that you're
Nakomis.
unique, and we love you very much, Nakomis.
I try. It's fun.
And not only do we love you, but a lot of people are fans of yours. You were one of the house guests voted in by the public.
So
Yes.
awesome. You really don't understand it until something like this happens, and then you're just like, oh my goodness, like it's so overwhelming and just so great, and it feels so good that people know who you are and that they think that you're a cool guy.
And they love you for who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Being yourself.
Yeah.
Good for you.
When you went into the house this year, did you think you would be a target this soon?
I knew that I definitely had the chance of becoming a target this soon, just because of how I played the game the last time. But I was all like, you know, people really aren't going to get caught up on that past season, because this is something, yeah,
Right.
no, it didn't happen that way.
Right. Well, you ready to talk to some of your fans? We
Let's
have a
go for
lot
it.
of people
Let's
on
go
the
for it.
lines. All right, everybody. Let's talk to Nick right here in California. You're on House Calls.
Hey, Gretchen. Hey, Bunky. Hey, Nakomis. I am sorry that you got evicted.
Oh, thank you, Nick.
I
It
cannot
sucks.
believe it. You are an amazing player, and as far as I'm concerned, you should still be in the house, because I really wanted to see you tear apart the Season 6 alliance.
Thank you. I was so headed there.
I want to ask you, though, what's your opinion? I'm not sure if you know, the Mr. and Mrs. Smith alliance, if there is one. What's your opinion on that?
My opinion on that is, of course, it could exist. I mean, it's Big Brother, and people definitely have to make alliances to stay in the game. But I really think that it would be a bad move for Diane to do that, considering that Jace would totally turn on her the first chance he got. Like, if someone came up to him and was all like, hey, you know, we know that this is happening, but if you hop over here with us and just, you know, throw her under the bus, he would do it. And I feel sorry for her if that is the case.
Frank in Michigan, have you got a question for Nakomis?
Hi, Nakomis.
Hi, Frank.
Hey, how's it going? I love you in the game. You were just so good, and it's a shame you had to get out so soon, if you know what I mean, because you were such a great player. But my question is, I think it's more like a comment. I think that Erika should have gone up to Kesar and said, you know what? Let's do something. Let's turn this game around. Let's put you out of the eviction, and then you will be on good terms with Erika. And we could switch up the game a little bit. And before I go, I want to give a shout-out to Sebastian, Megan, Paul.
People want to see that veto being used.
Well,
Do you
it's
think
just-
anyone's going to use it all season?
I hope so. Right now, everyone just like, oh, I don't want to step on anyone's toes. I don't want to take charge of the game. And it's pissing me off.
Yeah.
You're on a game. You know, you have the power to be like, it's going to change.
Yes.
And everyone's like, I don't want to make the Season 6 players mad. And it's like, oh my goodness, guys, just stand up. Do something.
Right, do something. I know that Kesar was telling you, we really are, I'm trying to campaign for you sort of after the fact.
Yeah.
We do want to keep you in the house. But he had the way to do it, which was
Exactly.
use the veto. Go to Erika, make her use it, and save you. I mean, he could have saved you, I guess is my point. And I felt like he was copping out a little by telling you, well, I'm trying to get the votes for you. Don't get the votes. Use the power you already
Exactly.
have.
My whole thing is I think that he was just trying to keep everyone in the house happy. Like, oh, I want you to stay, but I don't want to change anything, even though I'm telling you that I'm trying to get you. Just don't lie to me. Just tell me straight up, I want you out of the house, like he did the first time I went to him.
Right. Mary in Louisiana,
Oh,
have you got a
hello.
question for Nakomis?
Oh, hi, Nakomis.
Hi, Mary.
I just want to tell you, there is a Mr. and Mrs. Smith Diane admitted it to Erika before the vote, and she also campaigned against you. So she was not true to her word at all, and she was not your girl.
It's cool.
Now, wait, when did Diane, because watching the feeds, I didn't really see her campaigning against Nakomis, except I speculate that she's passively, aggressively campaigning by crying.
Well, yeah.
But
Well,
did
yes,
you see any actual campaigning?
Definitely the crying. Yes, she went to Chicken George and asked for his vote, and to several people. It was late at night, though.
Like a last-ditch effort, I suppose. Maybe she freaked before she... I thought that was an odd choice. Why did you decide to not really directly campaign against her? Because you just said it's a game.
Well, first of all, Kaiser straight up came to me and said that I was the one that he wanted out. And then everyone is so wishy-washy. And the second that one of the powerhouse alliances, like Chilltown or the Season 6 Alliance, get up from their seats, everyone runs and hides because they're so afraid of pissing one of them off. It's like... even if I had campaigned and gotten everything set up, all it would take is like a word from someone and it would have all been undone. I knew that I was leaving the house this week just because everyone is so freaked out by me.
Why are they afraid of Chilltown? Can you figure that out? I mean, do you understand that Will is like a manipulator? And he's
Yeah,
like
totally.
He's a cult leader.
He is. That's why he's always like, oh, I want to leave. I want to. You don't go through the entire process just to want to leave after you get in the house.
Right.
It's totally an act. But like, people are afraid of them because they call alliances out. They call people out. And, like, people don't want to give them the opportunity to have the chance to call them out.
Right.
So no one does anything.
If you won HOH, instead of leaving the house this week, who would you have nominated for eviction?
I most likely would have done Will and Kaiser.
See?
We've got some calls about that, yeah.
That would have been the perfect nomination. That's what I was saying.
You
we
said
would
that
see
yesterday,
how
didn't you?
put those two against each other and make it exciting. See what happens.
Put the two leaders of the powerhouses up. Just be like, there, guys, fight it out. Let's see. Have fun.
Exactly. Oh, Nakomis.
Yeah.
Mike in New York, you're on House Calls, the Big Brother talk show.
Well, unfortunately, you asked my main question recently, so I'll ask a second question.
Okay.
If you were Kesar and you didn't put the two up this week that was Danny and you, Nakomis, who else would you have chosen, with keeping you in the game if you were Kesar to, better himself?
If I was Kaiser for, like, a better house for me, I would have definitely put up Boogie and Will. Boogie and Will, just because they're the ones that are running around trying to stir stuff up. If you think about it, on Kaiser's point of view, he wants those two out, because with those two gone, it's just him doing all of the manipulating. And, like, he'll be telling someone that he's going to do something, and then 2 minutes later do something else. Like with his alliance, he straight up was like, yeah, we're going to do this, and then he made a deal with Boogie and Will, and all of a sudden he's putting up me and Diane, and it's just like, his own alliance can't even trust him. Like, how does that help him at all for me and her to be gone?
All right, now it is the time to do our real question of the week. What is that? Let me tell you. As you know, you get the live 24/7 feeds right here at CBS.com through Real Networks. And if you sign up and subscribe to the feeds, not only do you get to watch and eavesdrop and satisfy your voyeuristic fantasies on the house guests all the time, you also get to email a question that we ask to the evicted house guest. Cool. That way, in case you can't get on the line, because our house guests are very popular, we'll ask it for you. So, this week's, we have two questions from Real Networks. The first comes from Peter in Lyndhurst, New Jersey, and he says, on the live feeds, you promised both Chilltown and Seasick that you were going to go after the other group. What was the true plan if you were to stay and win HOH?
My whole response to that is, seeing as neither one of them would definitely let me into their little alliance clique, I was going to go after both of them. My whole thing, if they want me to be alone, I was willing to take them on alone. I mean, with them always being like, oh, well, we don't trust you, we don't trust you, we don't trust this, we don't trust... Okay, fine, don't trust me. Here we go. Like, that's why I would have put up Kaiser and Will. Like, okay, fine, here we go.
One woman attacking
Exactly.
two alliances,
Exactly.
going after
Gutsy.
everyone.
I love how gutsy
See,
and
I wish
strong
that I
you
was
are.
still in there, man. I'd be changing this game like that.
I know.
And they knew that. That's why they
And
were
that's why you're
scared of
out.
you.
That's why you're out.
That's why you're out.
People
because
are
they
afraid
knew.
of change, and I obviously am the epitome of change.
Yeah, and Diane is emotional and sometimes a bit unpredictable,
And
but
very
that's not
easily
dangerous.
manipulative.
Exactly. And your sort of stoic response to everything in the house, it really did. It scared the crap out of everyone in the house. And you watch the feeds and you hear a lot of people saying, because Nakomis she'll think clearly always, and they're just afraid of you, man.
Yeah.
Okay, second one comes from Susan in San Antonio, Texas, and she says,
Susan.
Nakomis, I would have loved to see you stay in the house longer. Why didn't you align yourself with the season Sixers? You and Janelle would have made an awesome alliance.
Well, Susan, I would have, but back to my other statement, James and Howie definitely didn't like me. Janelle, great girl, she liked me. Kaiser seemed to like me, but no one really trusted me in the game, and everyone was it was the season 6 alliance. It was the Chilltown alliance. No one would break out of their respective seasons. Everyone was too afraid to start new things, and I think that that's really going to come back and bite them in the end.
Yeah. You know, you said James and Howie didn't like you. How does that make you feel? That really hurt me when I'm in the house and someone doesn't like me for who I am. How did you handle that? Did that hurt?
It totally fuels my fire. I'm all like, you don't like me? Rock on. I'm going to give you another reason not to like me. Still don't like me? Rock on. I'm going to give you another reason not to like me.
So you don't back down. I go back and I kind of like lower everything and just kind of like try to, but you're just like, come on, in your face.
It fuels my fire. It gives me something to go on, and it really sucks because I wasn't able to show anybody what I brought to the table this time.
Yeah. Amy in Arkansas, you're on House Calls, the Big Brother talk show.
Hey, Nakomis.
Hey, Amy.
I voted for you.
Oh, thank you, honey.
And I think you got screwed. But my question is, how do you feel about how America voted?
I think that America voted very well. Diane, good player. Erika, good player. Janelle, good player. Me, good player. All of the boys, very good players. Like, they're popular. It's just, I wish that America would have maybe broken up a little bit of season 6, because with the 4 of the same alliance coming back into the house, it made things really difficult to get the game started. But I think whenever it does get started, it's going to be really, really good. I think that it's going to totally be a season that people are going to remember for years.
Yeah, because right now I feel like we're not seeing the true game yet. There's a lot of talk when you watch the feeds about the game.
Yeah.
And one of the great things about watching Big Brother is usually there's not much reference to the game because nobody has played it before, and there's a lot more getting to know each other, and we don't have that this season.
Oh, it's horrible with all of the past game talk, like, oh, this happened in my season, and I'm guilty of it. Like, it's the only thing that we all have in common.
Right. How do you feel about everybody? There's a lot of stroking going on in the sense of, I'm hearing a lot of, I respect your gameplay, I'm not going to do this because I respect this, I respect that. Do you believe what everybody's saying? Or, I mean, everybody's being so nice. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of nice because it's not that interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the biggest thing with being nice is the easiest way to lie to someone. If you're nice, people believe you.
Right.
If you're mean, people don't.
Right.
So, of course, everyone's going to be like, oh, you're so great. You make me happy, because that makes other people happy. So it's just, I don't know, it's going to be one of those whole, like, oh, you're my buddy and I love you to death, but then I'm going to stab you in the eye.
Right.
You know?
Right. Ooh, not even in the back.
No,
right in the eye.
Right in the eye.
Taking out an eyeball.
It's going to be mean. It's going to be a very vindictive, evil season, I think.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to things heating up. Ben in Illinois, you're on House Calls.
Hey, Nakomis. Hey, Gretchen. Hey, Bunky.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
Nakomis, I wanted to know what you thought about Will giving you a vote to stay, and also what you thought about the season Sixers not voting the same way, if that means that their alliance is on the verge of collapsing.
Like I said, with the season 6 people, it's definitely going to be like a James, Howie, Janelle, Kaiser type of thing, and they weren't that strong to begin with, and they weren't that strong on their season. It's just they're flocking together for numbers. And then with Will voting towards me, I thought it was really cool, but again, he probably did it just to shock the house, be like, whoa, you know, that's good TV, which is the biggest phrase I've heard for the last 2 weeks. But definitely, I think that it was really cool and it was really sweet, and his, I think that his heart was in it, maybe, hopefully.
You never know with Will.
Yeah.
Let's talk to Karina in Florida. Have you got a question for Nakomis? Karina?
Hello?
Oh, wait. Karina? All right, hold. I'm having my own little issue here with a button sticky. So hold on, Karina. Don't hang up. I will figure out a way to get back to you. I want to ask you this. Take yourself out of the game with the house guests that are in there. Who would you most likely bond with or be friends with out of the house, and who would you never, for all the money in the world?
I hate to say it because he's old, but I would never hang out with Chicken George outside of the house, just for the fact that, like, he's so not my thing. He's just, he's odd. And coming from the girl with the orange and the red and the yellow hair, that's not a really good statement. So, I mean, you know, him definitely not hang out with. Hang out with pretty much Danielle I'd hang out with, Diane I'd hang out with, Jace not so much. Will and Boogie, I think that it's going to be great to hang out with those guys. They seem like great fun.
Right. All right. Not a fan of Chicken George. What did you think about his aluminum foil suit? I saw earlier in the day he was making the hat. I thought, oh, fun. He's going to have a fun little hat,
The hat's
fancy hat. And then I thought he's up to huge shenanigans when I saw that he had an entire suit.
Yeah.
And nobody said anything. Did anyone in the house have a reaction?
A couple of people were like, oh, look at this idiot. But most of them, like all the guys, of course, Jace and Boogie and Will, were all like, yeah, let's watch the 47-year-old man make a jackass out of himself. And, you know, the usual boy type of mentality with that. I'm just like, that man has kids somewhere.
I know.
My goodness.
I know. Can you imagine? I was thinking about that, too. And I know I have moments where my husband does something, and I catch myself going, really? I picked him. I mean, out of all the men on the planet, that's the one I chose.
Why?
And I thought about Chicken George's wife going, oh, there's my soulmate, the wacko in the tinfoil.
It's like, wow, there he is.
Did he explain the tinfoil?
See, that to me
he
was the
didn't
funniest
explain
thing,
it.
is that
He didn't
the
explain
poor
it.
guy, like, you do something that bold.
And
Obviously,
there's no
you want
reason.
there to be some reaction or a something, and
A reason.
Yeah,
There's no reason.
No reason, no rhyme, no...
See, I've been rooting for him to win HOH just because I want to see if they make the HOH room look like a chicken coop.
Oh, that'd be fun.
For that reason alone.
And plus, it would be fun to see who he put up. Since
Yes.
he's not really playing the game, it would force
We don't know
him to
where
play.
he stands. Exactly, exactly. But he did not win last night.
Yeah.
Karina in Florida.
Karina.
Have you got a question for Nakomis?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. I'm just wondering how often you color your hair.
I color my hair either... usually it's once a month, but sometimes I go as many times as 3 times a month. So quite often.
Wow, does that damage it? Or do you have to condition it?
I condition a lot, and I just, like, I have Madonna-style hair. I'm really good with the constant coloring and treating of it. It works.
All right, Faz in New York. You're on House Calls, the Big Brother talk show.
Hi, how is everyone?
Great.
Great,
Good. How about
Faz.
you?
Okay, well, I just want to say, first of all, I am ecstatic that James won the HOH. I know that you guys want to change up the pace and things, but I love the Season 6 people. But second of all, what do you guys think that he'll do? Like, some people think that he may put on Chilltown, but some people are saying that, you know, like I know in the chat room, people are still talking about Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I mean, is that real? Or, I mean, what do you think, who do you think James is more gunning for?
There's no real way to tell if Mr. and Miss Smith is real until, you know, the show ends and we can actually go up to the person outside of the game and be like, so, was it real? Because they definitely aren't going to tell you the truth inside of the house. But as far as who James is going to put up, I'm kind of guessing towards Marcellus, and I'm kind of guessing towards Chicken George, just because Chicken George is a safe bet. Marcellus is really close with Janelle, and kind of breaking that up might help him out a little, you know?
Interesting. Yeah, do you have any thoughts on that, Bunky?
I didn't know that maybe Marcellus was going to be on the chopping block. I mean, I wonder if he
know.
realizes that. I mean, because it took you by surprise,
Yeah.
didn't it?
Well,
So
a little bit.
Oh,
like,
a little bit?
like once, I don't know, it's really weird. Like whenever it happens, or like right before it happens, you're just like, you know, have you been talked to today at all by anyone? And you're like, no. Have you? No. Okay, we're going up.
Yeah, they stop looking at you and they stop talking to you.
When people do this,
guilty.
when you walk past, you know you're going up on the block.
Been there.
We are going to take a really quick break here. You are tuned in to CBS.com watching House Calls, the Big Brother Talk Show. We'll be back with more of your calls. Welcome back to House Calls, the Big Brother Talk Show. I'm Gretchen Massey here. With me from Season 2, Bunky. And, of course, joining us today, taking your calls, is Nakomis.
Hi.
A very loved, and respected player in this game. Chosen by you. It's 323-CBS 1000 to get on the air. Now, Nakomis, I have a quote here from Janelle already after you left. She says, I have no one to smoke with now. I miss Nakomis already. Did you get along with Janelle? Or was it just some good old nicotine bonding?
Well, no.
Or do you like her?
Janelle's she seems like a really genuine chick. Whenever we hung out, it was kind of odd because we really didn't talk. We just kind of sort of sat there and, like, just enjoyed each other's company. But, like, whenever we did talk, it was good. It was good conversation. But we don't really have that much in common. But she's a really genuine chick and definitely, like, some nicotine bonding going on, you know, a lot of fun stuff. Big Brother Funland.
Let me ask you, you're a real person. I mean, you are yourself, and there's nothing phony about you. You know, this is who I am. You're all natural. You're a natural lady, okay?
Yes.
Janelle has, I think, had some work done, right?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? I mean, do you feel like she's phony because she's had some things done?
It doesn't really make her phony, but girls, let me just say, you're beautiful how you are. I don't care if you're a size A. I don't care if your nose is crooked. My nose is crooked. I only got a size B. I'm happy with me. Like, just, it's cool. I mean, but if you want to get it done, that's your prerogative. Like, who am I to hate? Like, who knows, one day I might get Botox.
But not from Dr. Will.
But not from Dr. Will.
I know. I've often wondered, does this affect his practice at all?
I don't know. I hope not, because he seems like a really cool guy, but, like, I don't know. Like I
don't like him. I'm sorry. I don't know why you think
But you were stuck in the house.
9 weeks.
Yeah,
9 weeks. You only had 2 weeks of them. I had 9 weeks of them. But I don't know.
Did he complain a lot on your season?
He complained about everything.
Okay, great. So he's still the same.
He's a whiner, and he spent so much time in the diary room, and he constantly criticized me. That's why I didn't like him.
Okay.
He just constantly criticized me, saying how disgusting my hairy body was. And although I don't know if you noticed, but he doesn't have any armpit hair. He's like shaving his armpit hair.
It's weird.
That's just weird. And he's a straight man. Okay, bizarre.
He's a little bit odd.
I didn't even notice that. Because I look at nothing else on him except his expressionless face. That's all I can stare at.
It's very tight.
Yes.
It's very useful.
Tight. Very tight. Kathy in Ohio, you're on House Calls.
Hi there.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi. Bunky kind of stole my question about being surrounded by high-maintenance women. Was that kind of tough? Because I know I've got 6 sisters myself, but none of them are as high-maintenance as some seem to be. And Nakomis, I like her because she's such a real person.
I try. It is a little bit odd. It's cool because I don't really use the mirror that much. So between the boys and the girls fighting over the mirror, I kind of rush in and like smear my makeup on my face and run out. But it's pretty cool. Like they are pretty high maintenance. Danielle is there. She's kind of like me. We're both laid back. We're all like whatever. And Janelle and Diane and Erika, very, very prissy, and it's okay though. No complaints.
Penny in North Carolina, have you got a question for Nakomis?
Yes. First off, I wanted to say hi to Bunky, and it was because of him I started watching Big Brother.
Oh, thank you.
I live in Charlotte, and Harrisburg's right next door.
Oh, wow.
Secondly, I wanted to know if Nakomis knew that Kaser flat out lied to her. He said that he did not do a deal with Chilltown when he actually did and put her up instead, and how that made her feel. And I wanted to know if she thought Diane and Jay secretly had an alliance that she didn't know about.
That one you've already answered 3 times, I think. With the Mr. and Mrs. Smith, let me just say to save time, nobody knows. It's all speculation. So Nakomis does not know that one.
But with Kaiser and the whole making a deal with Will and Boogie, yeah, like the entire house knew. It's whenever you walk into a bedroom where everyone is sitting, peek your head around the door and say, hey, I need to talk to you two. It's a little bit obvious. It's like, what's going on there? So,
Heather in Michigan, you're on House Calls.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Doing
We're
good.
great.
Good. Nakomis, I just wanted to know if you've gotten any more tattoos than the previous Big Brother, and if you're going to get any more.
I have gotten one. It's the one on my arm, and I plan whenever I get back to San Antonio to get at least one or two more, like right off the bat. Just like go and get home and get off the plane, like run to the tattoo shop.
Like maybe a star for All Stars?
Are you an Aries? Is that a ram?
No,
What
I'm
is
a
that?
Taurus. It's a combination of three of the things that I used to deal with back in my past.
Oh, very cool, very cool. All right, so yes, she's going to get off the plane and go
Run
straight
to
to
a
the
tattoo
tat
shop.
shop.
Like,
You're missing that adrenaline rush, aren't you? It's been a while.
It has.
Okay, let's go to Connecticut and talk to Jenny. Thank you for calling House Calls.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Hey, Nakomis, you're one of my favorite players.
Thank you.
Okay, last night after you left, we saw on live feeds that there were secret alliances being revealed. Mr. and Mrs. Smith is definitely a true alliance because we saw Diane whispering to Jace, and she said, let's destroy this house. And 5 minutes later, she said to him, Mr. Smith. So that's definitely true. And there's also another secret alliance revealed last night between Will, James, Danielle, and Boogie. They're all together. So what do you think that they had to hide their alliance and use an easy target like Janelle and Kaiser and Howie? So what do you think about these pre-made alliances?
In what it looks like with this show is that the alliances are going to change weekly, if not bi-weekly. Like with the uncertainty of this house and like when people mess up in this house, instead of their alliances forgiving them, their alliances are just going to push them away and move on somewhere else. So you're never going to be safe in this house. Even if you're in an alliance, you still can't trust the people because all of these people are scheming to win. They want to win this, and that makes a really dangerous combination. People who are willing to lie, cheat, and steal,
right, along
with throw you under the bus all in one evening and then go and eat slop for dinner, you know? It's going to be a rough season.
You know, here's my theory on Mr. and Mrs. Smith now. I believe that a rumor actually created this alliance.
Yeah.
So if now on the feeds, as the last caller just said, we hear Diane saying Mr. Smith, there's been so much talk about it. If you remember, Danielle is the first one who had the suspicions.
And Danielle is full of the whole conspiracy theories.
And then I think once it kept passing around, I think they both individually went, why not?
Well,
That's a good idea.
If it already exists, why not just go for it?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. It's like people are trying to pick out alliances based on just who's hanging out. Like, we can do this right now. We're going to take a look inside the house live right now, and let's see what they're doing and what secret alliances we can bust.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. Oh, they finally got their badminton set. They've been asking, you guys have been asking for something. There's our Marcy boy. He plays badminton all the time.
I wasn't going to be like that.
I wonder if anyone's...
It's dangerous in flip-flops. I know.
I doubt it. He's such a snake.
He's quiet.
Yeah. He is such a snake.
Wow, they're up and doing stuff kind of early now.
That's a good
Usually they're
point.
sleeping or just brushing their teeth. There's Kesar. All right. All right. There's the house guest playing. Again, that was a look into the house through the live feeds, which you can get right here at CBS.com. And let me just tell you, in my opinion, that is the show, is watching the feeds. It so enhances the experience.
You get to see everything.
Everything.
So.
And then even when it's all cut together in the 3 episodes a week, there's so much more going on that everything all of a sudden takes on a whole new meaning. And we really feel like we know you guys.
Yeah.
Is that bizarre when you come out of the house, you've experienced it once, to have people maybe looking at you like they know you?
It isn't really that weird, and that's why if people come up to me, really don't be surprised if I'm like, hey, so what's your name? You know, what do you do for a living? You know, do you have any kids? You know, because you guys do. Y'all end up knowing us through this show because we we go about our lives, and you get a window into what we do and how we think. So.
And then Nakomis that we see in the house, is that the Nakomis that we would see outside the house? You're pretty much the same person, except in the house you're trying to win $500,000, and you're a little bit sneakier.
And outside, I'm just trying to find some ice cream.
Right. Jeff in Texas, thank you for calling House Calls.
Hi, my name is Jeff, and I'm from Austin, Texas. And Nakomis, we love you. My mom said, I'm never going to watch the show again because Nakomis got voted off.
Oh, my goodness. I'll tell your mom to watch anyway, because I'm going to be watching.
She was so bummed that you got voted off, and I was too, quite honestly. I didn't think it was the right strategy. But my real question is, what is this bizarre thing going on with Howie with his infatuation with Dr. Will? I mean, what is that? Is this part of some weird strategy that he's got going, or what?
I have no clue what is going on with that, but it's the creepiest thing in the world. Because it's like Will will be sitting there, and then, like, Howie will come over and, like, molest Will and, like, walk off. And poor Will's like, what is going on here? I have no clue. I don't know if that's part of his strategy or if he's...
I think it is. You know, I was in the shower this morning thinking about that.
Of course you were.
Of course I was. And watching Howie last night, I'm like, okay, I think Howie is just trying to throw Will off.
Yeah.
And trying to get Will in a headspace that he's never been in before.
I think it's starting to work.
Yeah, so because that just throws Will totally off balance, going, whoa, what is... And he starts forgetting his strategy. I think it's very clever.
Yeah. See, I think everybody gives Howie way too much credit. I truly do. I think he likes to touch human flesh. End of story. Doesn't matter what it's on. It could be growing in a petri dish. He would fondle it.
He's afraid of girls, so I mean that leaves boys. So
he's afraid of girls.
Yes,
Howie's afraid of girls.
I swear he's afraid of girls.
He's like intimidated by all
I swear
women.
he's intimidated. That's why the whole boobies, oh.
It's like an 8-year-old.
Yeah, it's like an 8-year-old who's picking on girls.
That is so weird.
It's so true. And you, oh my goodness, I was so happy to hear some clips of you on both the show and the feeds saying what you feel about Howie. Because a lot of people call in saying that they think his antics are cute, and I'm like, has everybody lost their mind?
It's retarded. It's like,
yes.
Stop. Can I please have something to sew his mouth shut?
Another reason that I like Nakomis. All right, let's go to New York and talk to Jeffrey.
Let's go to
New York in our time machine. Jeffrey, welcome.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Hi.
Hi, Nakomis.
Hi.
You realize the only reason you got kicked out is because everybody was afraid of you, that you were such a strong player.
I know. It's because of my out there hair color and because I'm strong and smart.
That could be it.
Yeah.
Do you think you made a mistake by not getting in one of the big alliances? You were just with Diane, and maybe if you could have, even if you were lying for a while, hooked up with one of the big alliances, you could have lasted longer in the house.
Oh, I definitely could have lasted longer if I could just let them open up and let me in for a second. It's just going into this game, like, I think that people are starting to open up now, but in the first 2 weeks, everyone was like, no, it's mine. No, it's mine. Step back, back. You don't belong here. And it made things really difficult, and I'm really hoping that things are starting to, like, open up, people can come in, and, yeah.
So you thought of that, obviously. You simply couldn't make it happen.
Yeah, it's just, it wouldn't happen. Like, I talked with James briefly, and he was just like...
Got nothing to say to you.
Yeah,
You're weird.
Yeah,
Get out of my face.
Like, I talked with Kaiser, and Kaiser was like, at that point, he still wanted me out of the house because he was afraid because I'm a strong player, even though I didn't win anything yet. It's really lame. But, you know, it works. I'd rather be voted out because I'm a strong player than I was annoying, you know?
Right. Like, I have a feeling that's what I hear a lot about Chicken George when he goes.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just saying,
it's not because
can
he's
he
a
just
good player.
go?
It's just...
Yeah. Which is another reason I think he might actually go far, because he keeps not being something to actually be dealt with. He's just a kind of annoys everybody.
Exactly.
And I think he's going to go far. This, however, was my prediction at the very beginning of the show.
Oh, no.
I've done this every season. I like to pick, based on nothing, who's going to go in what order. So I do it before the show even airs. So for Nakomis, let's see how long I thought you would stay in the game.
The envelope, please.
It is week 10.
I would have liked that. I would have enjoyed that.
That's what I expected from Nakomis. Week 10. Continuing my track record of being dead wrong. Dead wrong. All right.
Helping you out there.
Always wrong. Always wrong.
I wish you were right.
Talk to Liz in Idaho. You're on House Calls.
Hi. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Well, my question was kind of ties into the previous one about floaters, but like when they were targeting you in the beginning, they were like, oh, we need to go after the floaters, you know, Diane and Nakomis, they're just going to coast right through. But, like, who do you think the real floaters are? Like, Chicken George, you know, I think that he is probably lower on the list.
She's glad you asked that one.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Chicken George, definite floater. If he doesn't get taken out by week 3, week 4, he's going to the end. He'll be like our season's cowboy who just kind of sort of rode on, and then all of a sudden he's in the final 2. What happened there?
Yes, and he won at least the second place without doing anything. Yeah.
And then there's Erika, who is way too nice to do anything at this point, and she's riding through. She's too pretty for anyone to pick off. She flirts with everyone. She lets them do their boy things.
Right.
So definitely she's a floater. And then there's Danielle, who is like an active floater. She definitely has opinions, but if she does anything about them, that's a different story. So those are definitely the 3 floaters of this game. Like, and then there's people like me and Diane who are trying to get things done, but it's just circumstance prevents us from doing anything.
How would you describe Marcellus in this game?
Oh, Marcellus definitely has something working. Like, him and Janelle are definitely together. Definitely. And then he has things working with Chilltown, and then he's everywhere right now. He's like Mr. Business Associate, like dealing out cards.
Right.
But I heard him talking against Chilltown to C6.
Well, of course.
And then he talks against C6 to Chilltown.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. And then him and Janelle has their things, and like, it's everywhere.
We're going to take a really quick break here and be right back with more House Calls, the Big Brother Talk Show. Welcome back to House Calls, the Big Brother Talk Show. I'm Gretchen Massey from Season 2, Bunky.
Hello.
And from Season 5 and 7, All-Stars, Nakomis. The number for you to call, 323-CBS-1000 to get on the line here. Nakomis is bravely answering any and all questions.
I'm up for it. I'm down with it.
Let's take a call from right here in Los Angeles. Let's talk to Tom.
Hey.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Sure.
Nakomis, you're great. You're a great player.
Thank you.
You know, I wish you could have lasted longer, but I had a couple quick questions for you.
Okay.
First one is, who do you think is controlling the game right now?
Right now, I definitely see Kaiser and Will as the 2 people that are controlling the game, like dead flat, straight on. Those 2 are controlling everything.
And everyone else is just following?
And everyone else, like, they're doing their own thing, but they're still following totally.
Okay, and who do you think's the front runner? Who's going to win the game?
I think from right now, who would win the game? If it keeps on like this, I have a really good vote for Kaiser right now, just because Kaiser will straight up, like, he doesn't really manipulate people, but he's really good at getting what he wants.
Cool. And this is the last one.
Okay.
What was your strategy in the house? I mean, did it work? Did it fail? Did you not plan ahead? What happened?
My strategy completely failed. My whole thing was going to be come in, you know, try to get in with, there was a lot of season 6, try to get in with them, try to get in with someone. And, like, it wasn't there. Like, the 4 was there, the 2 was there, and then all the people who were left over were so just, no.
Yeah, you don't have anything in common. You can't bond with them. You almost have to bond with someone, don't you think, in order to get in?
Exactly.
Have something in common, get them to trust you, get them to want to work with you and go to the end of you.
Exactly. And
it's
just,
hard.
There was nothing there. It was like, it was hopeless.
Lindsay in Canada, you're on House Calls with Nakomis.
Hey, Nakomis.
Hi.
My question was, well, actually, first of all, I'd like to say that I definitely think you should still be in the game.
Thank you.
And I definitely think Kaiser should have put up Will and Boogie because I think they're really dangerous and stuff. So, and I think they're stupid to put you and Diane up because, and I also think they're stupid to call you guys floaters because you're definitely not floaters. You're 2 of the smartest players in the game.
Thank you, Lindsay. You're right.
And my question was, other than Diane, who are you with during the game? Like, who are you allianced with?
Well, like I said, I was trying to get in with the season 6 people, but they were totally not having it. Me and Danielle were starting to kind of sort of work things out. Me and Erika were kind of sort of working things out. So if me and Diane weren't on the block, like, it would have so been great to have, like, Marcellus and Erika and myself Diane, and just like all of the people that really didn't have a home make a really strong alliance out of it and then take on the other 2 alliances. It would have been so easy.
Man. This show never works out the way I try to make it happen. I mean, it never does. And I'm sure you can relate to that feeling, because I know we are like the Monday morning quarterback as we sit there watching the feeds, and we'd love to say coulda, shoulda, woulda, oh, you're an idiot, you're a this. But it just, there's so many factors when you have 14 personalities and dynamics.
Exactly.
I don't control anything. And in New Jersey, you love both Bunky and Nakomis, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that was awkward. Okay. Yay.
Bye.
Thanks for calling.
I didn't realize I was going on so fast. Bunky, I think you're doing a great job guest hosting. I think you should stay there for the rest of the summer.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. You're so sweet.
He is fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Gretchen, it's so easy with Gretchen.
And Nakomis, I just wanted to say that I think you did a great job on season 5. Sorry to see you out so soon this season. What are your plans for the rest of the summer?
I'm going to go home. I'm going to paint my house a little. I'm going to hang out with my family. Hopefully I'll hear my nephew's first word, you know, just hang out, go camping, and have fun.
Cool.
And that makes me, I want to ask you, if you had a household, how would you want them to decorate your room? What colors, what theme would it have been?
It's a toss-up, like, definitely, like, 70s retro would have been really cool for me, like browns and greens and, like, the avocado colors. I would have really dug that.
Cool.
Brittany in Canada, you're on House Calls.
Hi. Hi,
Brittany.
Nakomis. We were just wondering, if you had a chance to go back in the Big Brother house, would you do that?
Yes, without a doubt. If they called me up in 3 weeks and was like, hey, Nakomis, America's voting to vote in another house guest, I would be like, okay, sign me up. I want to go shock the hell out of those people. And I'd go in and I'd be like, what? It'd be fun.
What is the most difficult thing being in the house? Even going back to your season where you were in there for quite a while.
Food restrictions.
Food restrictions.
Yeah, I like food.
And you were on the slop. You were part of that crew. Can you tell us what it is? We all speculate because we think it doesn't smell that great from what we gather.
It doesn't really smell like anything. It has like a little sweet smell to it. It's like grain and wheat protein and whey protein and just a lot of grossness. So
so it has a bad texture and it has a bad taste?
Bad texture, not really any taste. Kind of like
pretty bland.
Yeah, really bland. Kind of like wet cardboard, kind of.
Like as if you've lost your taste buds.
Yeah.
Wow. And you ate it for a week?
I ate mostly salsa soup for a week.
Salsa soup?
Salsa soup.
Salsa soup.
Oh, you were allowed to eat salsa?
Yeah.
Because it was a condiment?
Yeah.
Oh, because you can use condiments with your slop, right?
So I just made like a tortilla soup type of thing.
And Marcellus ate nothing, I believe,
Yeah, Marcellus ate 1 protein shake, 2 protein shakes, and a bowl of salsa soup over a week.
Wow.
Wow.
Cindy in Massachusetts, you're on House Calls.
Hi, Nakomis. You're one of my most favorite All-Star players.
Thank you.
I've been watching it for 6 years, Nakomis. And I did send you an email. My question is, did you realize that James and Danielle had an alliance prior to entering the house?
I had no clue about that, but there's always speculation, and that's why I was very against the whole campaigning period, just because that gave people a chance to go out there and, you know, play the game dirty and be like, hey, 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 and then all of a sudden they come in the house, and it's totally not fair. And that would explain a lot of why there wasn't any room in a lot of alliances, because people had pre-existing things.
I knew nothing about
that. Is that true?
I didn't talk to anybody. We weren't allowed to talk to anybody, right?
We weren't allowed to, but there was a lot of speculation, especially in the house. And it's kind of like the Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing. Like, no one can really prove it until the very end, you know?
Right. Right here in California, Michelle, you're on House Calls.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
It's very good.
Hey, so Gretchen and Bunky, I just have to tell you guys, I adore you guys, and Bunky, I love you guest hosting with Gretchen. I definitely agree with the previous caller. You should be staying.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, just a little hint.
I love working with Gretchen.
And also, Nakomis, God, I wish you were still in the house. You were my pick for winner of the season.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry if you had any money riding on it.
Yeah, really. And I just wanted to ask you, if you had made it down to Final 2, who would you have taken with you?
Well, of course I would have tried to take Diane, but if that wasn't the case, I would want to take someone that is completely beatable, probably Boogie, Will, one of those one of the like of those two. It all depends on who would be in jury.
All right. Good question. Now from Florida, let's talk to Emily.
Hi.
Hi.
Nakomis, what did you think of having the double HOH this season?
I think that that's, like, really tricky. I think that the whole plan of, like, let's put the HOHs together to get them nominated is really stupid, and no one should ever think of that ever again. But the whole double HOH is really good. Like, it shows where people are aligned at. It shows, you know, it's a way to get the game, like, rolling really fast. And if they had a double HOH every single time, it would keep the entire game so random. It would be so much fun.
Do you think we'll see the double HOH again?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that it's a really good plot driver.
Yeah, it mixes things up, definitely.
Boy, people love you, Nakomis.
They do.
I'm thinking you might be able to make a little scratch if you just continue on with a webcam in your own house. We would just like to watch you.
You're like Nakomis' house.
Exactly. We can just watch your life live, daily, watch you sleep.
Kind of boring, guys. It really is.
Oh, I don't believe that. There's nothing boring about this
No.
lady. Nothing.
I've watched you put in your contacts almost every morning.
Oh, rock on, yeah.
See? It's all exciting. We'll watch anything.
It's all like the contacts.
In New York, Shara, you're on House Calls.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Nakomis.
What's
You
up?
are definitely my favorite Big Brother player ever. I think that you are totally awesome. My question to you is concerning what type of music you like, because we did get to see so much personal stuff while you were in the house, but we didn't really get a feel for your character.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering what type of music you're into.
I'm into a lot of underground stuff. Like I like Tortoise, I like Mogwai, Godspeed. Let's see, Air. Pulling these all off. Mastodon, Maroon 5's cool. Marilyn Manson, 9 Inch Nails. Those are some classics. I like old school rock and roll. I like pretty much everything except for country, really. Like, if it has a good beat and it speaks a good message, I love it. But definitely one of my all-time favorite bands, Mono is one, the Japanese one. And then the Go Team. They're cool, too.
Isn't it weird living in Texas and not liking country? I grew up in Texas as well and wasn't really a big country fan.
It's
probably
very odd.
from living there.
Yeah, you go to
now that I live in,
it's all that they play.
Yeah, and living in LA now. Now I don't mind country. Now I've sort of broadened my view, but when you're there, you just feel like I need to separate myself as much as I can. Yeah.
I like Shania Twain country. That's about the only kind of country
I
I
like Dixie Chicks. I like Dixie Chicks country. Do you like the Bee Gees?
The Bee Gees.
When do you hear anybody reference the Bee Gees anymore? Only here at House Calls.
House Calls. It's
Rather
breaking
irrelevant
boundaries.
old references that nobody cares about. You can count on that.
Let's talk about Andy Gibb.
Do you have a final question for Nokomis? Because we are running out of time, Bunky.
Final question. If they do a Super All-Star in 15 years, would you come back and do a Super All-Star?
I don't know, man. That's 15 years from now. I mean, man, I have no clue.
How old will you be in 15 years?
Let's see, 15 years, I will be almost 35, 40-ish.
You are
so
young.
She's
You are
just a
young,
child.
yeah. Boy, you could take over the world at that point.
I am. I'm after it. World domination is one of my hobbies, guys.
All right, so that is going to be it for us today. Nokomis, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And again, everybody is definitely sad to see you out of the game. Maybe she will be the twist.
Hopefully, guys. Keep your fingers crossed.
Now, there is not another episode until Sunday night. So this is the time you go to the live feeds and let's see what happens with our brand new HOH James. This may show us a little bit more about where his loyalty lies. If you do not have the feeds, you get them right here at CBS.com. And tune back in Monday through Friday. House Calls is on at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, taking your calls and talking plenty of smack about this season of All Stars. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye, guys.